Welcome back, everyone. Crowon here, and we're going to tackle UCE Weight System. Sorry, I had a hiccup. I saw that coming. So let's go ahead and import that into our project. So weight system is, as it just says in its name, it's going to add weight to items in the game and have a debuff that players will gain to their speed when they go over that weight. You can make it so eventually they can't move if you so choose, but in this scenario we're just going to do a debuffing. So now that we have that in here, we got to open that readme up, make sure we have nothing special we need to do, and if we do, we need to conquer it. So alright, the weight system, and we don't got any changes we need to make other than we just need to move a file. Now you can create this if you want, your own. We just supply it to make it life's a little bit easier. So go on here and we're just going to drag this bad boy into resources. There you go. So the weight system is already in effect. You just got to give values to everything. So here under burdened, simply this is just a debuff or buff in this case that does negative effects. That's going to slow the player down on the point of being overweight. So as you can see, it just has a speed bonus minus, and it scales based on the player's level. And we're going to go ahead and just collapse. Actually, we need to be in there. We need to give items a weight. So the sake of quick testing, we're going to give stamina potions here a weight. As you can find here under weight. And we're going to make them weigh 50. They're going to be crazy heavy for the sake of testing here. And then we'll collapse that. We need to go to our player prefab, which is here, warrior. And in here, we need to find our weight. So level up, notice, weight system. Here you go. So now you can see the burden buff. So what buff are they going to gain when they are over their burden? So we're just going to drop the burden buff in. How much weight can they carry? Now you can modify this from other scripts if you so choose to give them ways to increase their carry weight. So we're just going to say it's going to carry 100 pounds or whatever measurement of your choice. How many levels of this burden buff can they get? So that means for every 100 they go over, how many times can they get this buff? How many times will you let them go? So let's do 3. I'll allow them to carry 300 pounds and get the buff 3 times. So you remember, you can make the buff more burdensome each time, so it'll get to the point where they just can't move if they get to 3 stacks. So then they have to drop items. So instead of we're not limiting the player by saying if you're full you can't carry anymore, because technically a person, even if they're full, they could always attempt to carry more. Whether it'll make it so they can actually physically move anymore isn't our story. So we would want to make it so they just wouldn't be able to move, and they would signify to the player, it's not that I can't carry it, it's that I can't carry that much weight with me and be fine. So they'd have to drop something to make it possible. So we'll go ahead and collapse these. We'll save our project. Jump in our project. I believe we have 1 stamina potion from last time, but I can't remember, so... And that's why I put them for sale, so we actually had something to work with. Now, if you obviously don't have stamina inks, you're not following this series, then you can go ahead and just use the health potion or whatever you want. Obviously, you should be going through and setting weights for everything in your game if you're using the system. So right now we don't have any, so we're going to go ahead and buy 1. I'll buy 2 because that puts us at our 100 limit. So we're still moving around just fine. Now, I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 more, which will then put me... As you can see, I got a debuff up here. So now I move slower. And come back here. And I'm going to buy 2 more. And that's another stack. As you can tell, I'm moving quite quick. And we'll buy 2 more, and that'll give us our 3rd stack. And we're moving like a snail. I mean, that is currently a pace I would not want to play a game at. But like I said, if you want to make it so some players will trudge through this slowness to be able to get to where they want to be. You might want to make it so when they get so far in, they just have no choice but to drop their stacks. So now if I delete these, they're still not technically deleted. So remember that when anything's in this slot here, they technically are still in the player's inventory. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these in separately. So it destroys them, and now you can see we're good. Fantastic. So that is all there is to the weight system. So I'll catch you in the next one.